Hey, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the podcast. So go grab a cup of coffee, settle in, go grab yourself a glass of wine. Depending on when you're listening to this, hopefully it's not at 7 a.m. You're not drinking a glass of wine.
I was going to say it's a little early for that.
Yeah. We got a good one for you. So this episode is based on something that happened that you all know about. Now it's going to be about 2 weeks ago. And it's something that has brought up much conversation with, we're talking about it with the kids, been talking about it with clients. And I sent an email out to my followers and I got a lot of feedback. I did a post on social media, lots and lots and lots of feedback. People agreeing with me and people not agreeing with me, which I like because it really opens up really good conversation around this whole idea of what happened to the couple at the Coldplay concert 2 weeks ago. So you want to tell a very quick recap to everybody of what happened?
Well, I mean, if you don't know, you've been on a long vacation somewhere very quiet.
And if you don't know and you were on a long vacation somewhere very quiet, we're envious of you. We're jealous.
Yeah, yeah. Or I would hope that there are people that don't know just because they don't dial in.
They're not on social media, maybe.
Or just don't pay attention to stuff like that. I mean, that would be outstanding, right?
Yeah.
But you'd almost have to intentionally do that to have
in this day and age
no idea about it, right?
Okay, so tell the story real quickly.
So super quick. So you have a CEO of a company, and you have what is
CPO, HR, human resources.
Well, yeah, but it was an interesting title.
Chief People Officer.
Chief People Officer.
She's the head of HR.
Yeah, what an interesting title that is. First of all, so there's that.
Interesting.
So they were at a Coldplay concert together. They are married separately from each other, both of them. I do believe they both have children. I don't know all the details of that part of it. I just haven't paid really that much attention because I don't really care. But they were there together, and there's a kiss cam. They call it a kiss cam and you've seen it.
Big sporting events.
Yeah,
have it
all the sporting events have this, and they run it like once a game or something, a couple times, and they just flash out into the crowd. And like, if you look up and you're on the screen, if they caught you, you're supposed to kiss the person. And it's been interesting because it's caught people that are like complete strangers before, and they like look at each other.
And it's funny,
Yeah, I mean, that's the intention, is to be playful. Well, this one, not so much, because it caught the two of these individuals, and they were basically arm in arm. Like, he had his arms wrapped around her, and they noticed it pretty quick, I think, right? Like, I don't know if there was a bunch of a delay between when it was posted up onto the screen and then their image, and then they actually saw it and noticed it, and then they completely like, hands back. She turned around,
covered her face, and he ducked.
Tried
to get out of the camera's view. Very dramatic, very obvious. And what does Chris Martin say? The head of the lead singer of Coldplay. He says, either you two are having an affair or you're both very shy.
and there's no other option.
And that was that. So that was.
But there was a little bit more. There was what appears to be
colleague,
who was next to them, laughing, right?
Looked like she was almost cringe laughing, or like laughing like you guys are caught. We don't know.
Yeah.
But laughing, it looked like, who knows, right?
Right.
But it was.
But is there? And again, I don't really pay attention to this stuff. I haven't really read a word about it. Right. It's only what I've heard.
Right.
Basic chit chat with you.
Good for you.
And yeah. But is there not? And maybe this is just me bad not getting it. But like, isn't there not a part of this where she stands to get? I'm talking about the third person now, that she stands to get a major promotion if all of a sudden the players ahead of her are no longer with the company.
I don't know.
Like, I thought that was something, maybe that was an assumption that somebody made, that she's like, oh, wow, these two get fired.
This probably was on your sports. They're probably talking on AM 1000.
Probably.
Your sports
probably. So there's a lot of twists and turns with this thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Which is interesting.
So we're going to get into it. So 62 million people had seen it worldwide 3 days later. 62 million people had viewed it. And this episode today is really about this term called Schadenfreude and why it is that we seem to delight in other people's failings or fallings. So, Schadenfreude is a German term for just delight in other people's fails.
Yeah.
I've really spent a lot of time thinking about this and reading more and more about it. I've always known what the term was. It would come up in psychology But now I did a deep dive because this has really got me thinking. And what I've come up with is that it's part of the human condition. And you go back in time, you go back in history, we as humans seem to enjoy, like, maybe even encourage this idea of looking at other people fail. And we encourage each other to laugh about it and to smirk and get all smug about it. And the question for me, as somebody who's psychologically minded and always analyzing these types of behaviors and ways of thinking, is why is that? Why are we that way as humans? And I have been that way before myself. I'm not taking myself out of this. I know I have. And so we're going to get into, there's levels of it. You see somebody taking down a peg at work who's a narcissist or the know-it-all, or in your friend group, and somebody kind of calls them out, and it's not right. And we seem to enjoy it.
Yeah.
Why is that? Go ahead.
No, I'm just going to ask a question. Are we suggesting, and you're probably going to get really deep into this, but like, are we suggesting there's some internal wirings as humans that bring pleasure by doing those things? Is that part of this? Maybe. Is it that we are part of this group? Because if you're doing this thing and you're lobbing on, right? You're piling on. Right?
Right.
So if that's what it is, then is it that we are waiting for this reaction by participating inside of this group? If it's a bunch of coworkers, a bunch of family members, a bunch of friends,
right?
Is it that the reaction that we get, is it laughter? Is it a celebration? Is it, it could be anything. Is that the thing that drives us for us?
Yep. So
I
we're
don't
going to
know.
get into it.
We'll
Rhetorical
talk about
questions.
That. Yeah.
Okay. So this is not just gossip. This is a mirror. This is holding up a mirror for all of us. Why do we delight? Why do you delight? Why do I delight in someone else's humiliation? What does it say about you? What does it say about me?
Yeah.
What does it say about us?
Yeah.
That's the deeper question that I want all of us to take from this episode and take out of this viral moment on social media. Okay. So once again, Schadenfreude, what is it? It's pleasure derived from another person's misfortune. And I think it's Schadenfreude. So I want you all to note how social media has turned private pain into public sport today. And that's why this type of Schadenfreude is so much more painful versus just 800 years ago in your small town. And that will be hard too. But now there's something about this being on a much larger scale. Like, believe me, that episode from, if anybody watched Game of Thrones, when Cersei is being brought out in King's Landing naked in front of the town by that religious group, they're making her pay for her sins. And do you remember that episode? It's hard to watch, where she's naked and she has to walk through all this medieval town, King's Landing, and they're all chanting shame, shame, shame.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
And they were the poor, and they were the people who didn't have enough. And she was the queen of whatever, the South or whatever she was. She was the queen.
Yeah.
And they made the queen pay for her sins. And everybody so delighted and so enjoyed seeing somebody who grew up with that sort of wealth and privilege and power over other people be pushed through the street naked.
Yeah. That was a powerful scene.
Right. It's a powerful scene.
I didn't thought
Right.
about that one, but yeah,
Right.
that's a good point.
Right. And what we've done is we've turned, and this is just the latest episode. We have seen this before, especially it's more in social media, where we have turned other people's failings or shameful events into sport. It's public sport. We send memes. You may have gotten memes. Maybe you're not on social media, but someone will send you a meme in your text or in a text chain. There's comments, there's DMs.
Yeah.
Did you see this? Did you see this?
Yeah.
So what does it say if you're pushing that along to other people? Okay. And the one thing, the biggest takeaway for me in all of this is the collateral damage of those family members and those friends and the colleagues and coworkers who are affected by this stupid act of stupidity on the part of these two people. These are people who did not consent to this. And that's the pushback that I got from people. They're like, yeah, Anna, well, that's on them. So too bad if I watched it. That's on them. And I don't disagree with that. I do agree with that too. I see that. Yeah. Yeah. And the people who have sent that to me, who have been most upset about this, are people who have been cheated on. And my heart goes out to them. They know what it feels like to be that wife or to be that husband. They were the ones who were cheated on. Like, they got caught. Tough shit.
Yeah.
And I hear that loud and clear, and I want to validate that. And it's, what about those kids in college? They're kids. What about like the sister, or what about the neighbor? You know, it's like your brother, and all of a sudden now everybody wants to ask you, hey, what's with your, you know, it's like, oh God, I didn't ask for this. That's my brother. It's not me. That's my sister. That's my cousin.
I mean, there's a couple camps, I think, in this conversation. So you have the first camp is the initial reaction camp that have done exactly what you say. Like, this was your decision. You made the dumb shit move to go to a massive concert.
Gillette Stadium, and the Patriots Stadium.
Right?
I mean, yeah, exactly.
So
exactly.
there's that. Like you kind of reap what you sow on that one. There's that camp, right?
Yeah.
And then there's the camp that thinks, they probably think that a little bit too, but then they also think, you know what? This is no different than probably several other million people in the world who are actually doing this exact same thing, right? Privately, or not at a concert and gotten caught on a video, right? So there's compassion a little bit for them. And then you've got this, I guess you have a third camp that's like, really like what you're saying is like, well, you recognize it, you criticize, you kind of understand it, but then you don't lob on, you don't share it, you don't push it out there even more, right? You don't speed up the process.
This is really about this episode of challenging all of you to take the high road.
Yeah.
That's really what this is.
Yeah.
Take the high road, even when you don't feel like it. I know you don't feel like it. I know you're in your feelings. You feel angry. You feel jealous. You feel envious. You feel like you want to get revenge. You feel like you want to smirk and smug and laugh and point the finger at them. Take the high road. I cannot tell you how many times over the 25 years of my practice, I have listened to these. I've been in these conversations, and I've listened to my clients talk about something that they're really upset about. And truth be told, underneath it is there's hurt, there's anger. And I've still said, okay, I know you want to do this. I want you to take the high road on this. Like,
yeah.
Oh, come on, Anna. Like, why are you, come on, you know? Because, and I know, I get it. Take the high road.
Yeah.
Because it's your character now we're talking about. It's your integrity as a person.
Right.
And
right.
that's what remains with you. Because this episode's going to change. Like in a week from now, we're not going to be talking about it anymore.
No.
We'll go on to the next big thing that's happening in the world that we all know about. You will remember how you behaved in this incident, July 16th of 2025, and you will have pride in yourself that, you know what? I wanted to do the pile-on. I wanted to go low. But instead, like Michelle Obama says, we go high. Go high.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's your integrity. That's your character as an individual.
Yeah.
And mine and yours.
I mean, there have been so many spin-offs of this with the memes and the different screenshots that have happened. Do you think that the ones that take the time to do those are taking the high road by trying to deflect it and kind of turn it into humor in a very different arena, and as opposed to like sharing the actual photos of that night?
No, in my opinion, of taking the high road is not indulging in any of it. And that's part of what my power move is for all of you at the end of this episode. No, that's my opinion. Don't be involved in it.
Yeah.
Don't forward memes. Don't share it with people.
Yeah. I'm just thinking like some people like can't help themselves when they get into this whole social media. They have to share something. So as opposed to sharing
something else.
Yeah, you could. I mean, yeah.
Share something else. It's more benign. Why for you?
Yeah.
Are you wanting to share this?
Yeah.
What does it stir up? And no judgment here. What does it stir up inside of you? What's coming up for you? We're not going to do a whole episode on this. And I talked about this a few years ago. I might do another episode on it again, because over and over and over again in my mind when I was getting ready to talk about Schadenfreude today was, what does it bring up in you? Your shadow, our shadow self. And every single one of us has a shadow. When you want to forward it to somebody else, it can bring up that shadow part of you, the part of you that's revengeful, that wants to get back, that wants somebody to be hurt.
Yeah.
I want you to feel a little bit of what I felt. I want you, because you've hurt me, or I've been hurt like this, and now I want you to have the exact same thing, sucker. Go down.
Yeah.
That's your shadow.
Yeah.
Have you looked at that part of you before? Okay, so let's go into quickly the psychology underneath why we as humans do this with other people. So there's this theory, it's called downward social comparison by Festinger. Not going to get into too much of the details, but basically what that says is we soothe our insecurities by locating somebody who's below us. So many of us are focusing on this incident with this couple at the Coldplay concert. It's soothing something inside of us like, well, at least I didn't do that. I've done a lot of things that I'm not proud of, that I don't like about me, but I didn't do that. So there's a social comparison, and it makes us feel what? A little better about ourselves.
Yeah.
A little better about the bad choices, the not so good choices, the things we've done. We feel a tinge of guilt about, okay. Well, but I didn't do that.
Yeah.
I'm not having an affair with anyone.
Yeah. Or I am, but I made a good choice and I didn't get caught on video. Like you can minimize it a lot of different ways.
You can rationalize and minimize it, right?
There's a lot of ways you can go with that.
Well, there was an article in the Tribune, it's probably 25 years ago now, because I remember when I was reading it, and it was a weekend article, and they did a survey in the Chicago Tribune about what are the most morally reprehensible things that a person could do. Number 1 was murder. Number 2 was having an affair, an infidelity. So here you go. I mean, this is considered one of the most morally reprehensible things a person could do.
Yeah.
So you maybe have done something else in your life that you're not proud of, that you're ashamed of, you feel guilty about, but at least you didn't do this. So we might gloat a little bit about the fact that, hey, look at this dumb couple. Look what they did. I didn't do that.
Yeah.
It's what we tell ourselves. Number 2, there's the envy and justice cocktail, which I thought this is interesting. So when we perceive someone else as advantaged, we perceive another person as attractive or more attractive than me, or they have a better body, they're wealthy, especially privileged. When we view somebody else or other people as more privileged than us, when they stumble, that feels like karma. It's cosmic balance. Ha ha, you're not so great. See, you think you're so pretty, you're so white and privileged. I say white because we're getting a lot of that, right? But it's not just white people. It's really people that we view as being privileged.
Yeah. It's people.
Yeah. So it's like we say to ourselves, like, oh, finally, like the universe has evened the score. That's karma. I don't know personally if I believe in karma. However, there are many of us who do think and feel this way. And it's funny, I just said that but truth be told, if I think back to times in my life where somebody has stumbled who I thought was more wealthy, successful, I'd say for me, it's probably more successful. And being real vulnerable here, it's happened probably in the last couple of years with some very, very well-known people in the coaching space that I think are not worth their weight, but they're just fantastic on screen and they have a fantastic presence and can speak, but I don't think they have the knowledge that I'll say I have. And if I was to see them falter or I have seen criticisms about them, and I think true, legitimate criticisms or documentaries done on it, part of me is like, oh well.
Yeah.
Deep down inside, does part of me enjoy it? Maybe. I was gonna say I don't know if I'd say enjoy it.
You might enjoy part of it.
Yeah. So there you go. I'm admitting that right here, loud and clear. And what's that say about me? What does it say about me? It's like, well, I worked my ass off to be where I am today, and how come I don't have that sort of platform? Why did they get that platform? How come I don't? What do I have to do? And I'm like, well, they know people. There's a lot of wealth in that family, which is true.
Yeah.
And they have been able to throw money at media people, media training, and getting on the local television. I don't have that kind of money. I don't have thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to put out to do all that. So I feel a little jealous because I think, and people tell me all the time, you're more talented, you know more. And I do get that.
Yeah.
And I can't seem to break that barrier. So when I see them fall, I'm like, oh, well.
Yeah.
And so it's not good.
Yeah.
I just totally shared something with all of you that's a private thought, but I want to be really honest and real with you all because it's part of us. It's human. And I don't like it about me. And then I had a couple people. Well, one of them was my daughter. One of them was my social media person that I've talked to about this quite a bit. And she said, Anna, and she's great because she's like, Anna, we know those of you who know you here in like the North Shore of Chicago, who really know you, not just from the podcast or from social media.
Yeah. You're more than a talking head.
Yeah. You're like, you're legit. Like you're the real deal when it comes to therapy and coaching. She's like, why do you care? Why do you care so much? And I'm like, well, it's because I want to be there.
Yeah.
It was jealousy.
You want to fast track it.
I want to be there. Well, I want to be there.
Yeah. And you want to get there quickly.
And I would like a platform
now.
like that.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've had several people who know me very well. And everybody, you all should have someone like this in your life, a mentor, a friend, someone who will not always just take your side, but someone who will challenge you because they want the betterment of you, to better you. And they're like, you're a stand-up person. You're a really good character. What's this coming out in you that you're showing this jealousy? It's kind of weird to see in you, Anna.
Yeah.
Well, I'm human. And they're like, no. You're legit. You got the goods. Work on that whole jealousy piece. And I have been. And this is not today. This is like 23, 24. I was really struggling. I've really worked on it. I have, and I'm a much better place, and more power to them. They are where they are for a reason, and they deserve it. Continue to go. For them, I want them to go. I'm moving in another direction. And that has been so liberating and really kind of healing for me, because I'm not like a jealous person. I've just never felt this way. So I was surprised when it kind of snuck up on me in the past couple of years as an entrepreneur. I've never felt this way as a therapist, as a coach. I've always been respected, like I said. So there you go. I just shared that with all of you.
Yeah. And I think, don't beat yourself up, because let's take this out to the masses, because we all go out to work every day. And if you're shaking your head, no, I don't, then you're lying to yourself, because you know that there's at least one or two people inside of your organization, whatever that means, that you're just like, right? Like they get under your skin a little bit. They bug you. Maybe they've been promoted unfairly or without merit. And then you watch them kind of navigate through business, and there'll be a moment where they make a decision that doesn't go so well. And for a second, all of us have done it. For a second, you're like, ha. Like,
exactly.
Right?
There you go. That's a Schadenfreude. Right. And I think that's what we're saying, is that it's just it's our humanity. It is our shadow. I remember, I've heard this a few times when my kids were younger, and I would hear this. I hear this in my office of women being jealous of the stay-at-home mom who just always seemed to have it all together. Her kids were always so cutely dressed, and she'd be at drop-off early in the morning, and she always looked like so put together, their cute outfits and her cute little body and her Lululemon Alo Yoga, whatever it was at that time, leggings, like her perfect butt and her beautiful house and her husband, whatever, all the things. And people would be jealous of that. Then you'd see her one day show up and she'd just be a mess. Her hair wasn't done, and she just looked like she's not like in big baggy sweatpants, and had glasses on her face. And I remember moms, and I would see this in my personal life and my professional life, being like, same, life's not so perfect now, is it?
Yeah.
Or it's like, welcome to the world. Welcome to the rest of us who barely have time to like brush our teeth in the morning and can barely get our kids to school or to the bus on time, and it's like, you like to see, or I shouldn't say you, I'll say what I have heard. And this wasn't my thing, didn't affect me. I was like, well, whatever. Good for them. There is delight in seeing people get knocked down a peg.
Yeah.
So for me, I felt it in my professional life with some of these very well-known coaches. I wonder if they were worth their weight in gold. I wondered. I see it a lot, or saw it a lot with, stay-at-home moms, and in the workplace, what you just mentioned.
Yeah.
People being brought down a peg, not getting a promotion, getting called out in a staff meeting, publicly like guilted or sort of shamed.
Yeah.
And other people in the staff meeting like smirking. I kind of enjoyed that.
Yeah. And to take their side, jealousy is an emotion that we all live through often, right?
It's human emotion.
And just because you have a moment where jealousy has caused you to react that way, I don't think that defines you. I've had it. You've had it. Everyone's had it.
Everyone has.
And it doesn't make you a bad person.
Not at all.
It just makes you more aware to recognize that.
I would just ask you to look at that.
Yeah.
If that comes up inside of you, you find this feeling of like, anger, looking at them, name it. It's percolating to the surface. Take time to be aware of what's going on inside of you. Sit with it. What is it percolating? What is this that's coming up from within me? Name it. It's jealousy.
Yeah.
I'm jealous of that person.
Yeah.
Envy doesn't go as deep as jealousy. Envy is, I'm envious of how cute your clothes are, your outfit. Really, I'm envious. It's a cute outfit. But then it leaves. Jealousy is I really have some feelings of anger, resentment that you are where you are, or that you have a notoriety you have, or that you make the money you make, you drive that car.
Yeah. But I think you can use that to fuel yourself, right? You can
Right.
use that in future opportunities or moments of decision where you can maybe work a little bit harder, or maybe you can assist that person so that that person does make a smarter choice.
So
down
you're
the road.
taking the arrow that you're pointing at somebody else and making a U-turn with the arrow and putting the arrow back at yourself.
Yeah.
Look at yourself.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So let's continue with the psychology about Schadenfreude. So there's this moral superiority signaling that goes on. So public outrage becomes this badge of virtue of like, well, I would never, while masking our own shadow work. So that's why I want to say that. So we will mask the work that we probably need to do inside ourselves about our jealousy and enjoying watching somebody be publicly shamed. You're not looking at your own self. If you're like, well, I would never do that. There's a sense of moral superiority.
Yeah.
That's shallow. That doesn't run very deep.
And you're probably just kidding yourself.
Well, and some people continue to kid themselves for their entire lives and never do this work.
And you're still kidding yourself.
Yes, I know. So if you have curiosity, you're listening to this episode or you're watching it, I'm always going to encourage you to go deeper, to challenge yourself, because this podcast is about personal development and wellness. Work on yourself, work on your shadow.
Yeah.
If you have this sense of moral superiority about certain instances or people in your life, look at that and work on it.
Yeah.
Because you said we all have it, right?
Yeah, totally.
Distance and dehumanization. So screens, and this is so true, screens make people feel like characters to us. So that's why I think this is easy with social media, is because empathy shuts off when we see people as avatars, not humans. So we're watching this screen, this situation over and over and over again. I watched it on TikTok. That's where I first saw it. And then because I watched it the very first time, everybody was talking about it and posting, and the algorithm sending it to me. And then I just started scrolling past it till it stopped sending it to me. And if you're watching that, or you're watching it on your Google search or more on social media, or people in your text group are sending it to you, you're starting to see them not as humans, not as two people who are very flawed, who messed up, but as avatars. They're not really humans. They're like robots to me. They're half human.
Yeah.
So we don't have empathy for them. We just think that they're just not like you and I, not like you, the listener or the watcher. They're less than us. Where's their conscience? And when this happened, I did think to myself, having done couples therapy and family therapy for decades, I did think to myself, and this is before the guy got fired or he resigned or he was let go. I think it was just like a Friday, July 16th, Thursday or Friday. By Monday, he had resigned. I think she had too, or she was put on leave. I did feel compassion for them because they just blew up their lives. And these are, for both of them, these are second marriages. So they were cheating on.
Really? There you go.
Yeah, they were cheating on their spouses in a second marriage. So I don't know if they had kids from a first marriage, kids from that second marriage, but my gosh, the collateral damage. And I did feel for them. I felt for him. I felt for both. I did.
Yeah.
I have compassion. I thought, oh my gosh, this guy just they just blew up their lives. I don't even know how you I wouldn't be able to show my face. Like, I have empathy for that. I feel badly in a way. And I'm thinking, well, I hope, get thee to a therapist, get thee to a good therapist, go and get help with this, start talking to somebody. And it just reminded me of the statistic, which, I know you know it because I think we've talked about it on the podcast, but you know it from me talking about it as a therapist. 50% of marriages in this country end in divorce. 75% of second marriages end in divorce. Now, I know people who were in very successful third marriages, married.
What's that number? Does that go down just as much?
It continues to go higher. I mean, it's like 85, 90%.
Yeah.
But I know people who were married for the second and third time who were married for 20, 30 years until they died. They finally found that person. And the statistics are not in their favor for second marriages, 75%. So they may fall into that 75% category. And I just feel sorry for all those kids and all the people involved, and I thought to myself, I hope they're talking to someone, because now you've blown up your life. Everybody has seen it. And now you've lost your job that you were CEO and I think founder of it. That's geez.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do think, was it worth it? And I'm sorry for you. I'm sorry you did that.
I just don't, smart. I just don't like how, and I've seen it, I don't even know where. Did I walk in, it was on TV, or like maybe it was on social media and I was like flipping through something, I don't know. But like now there are people that are diving deeper into their past in professional past.
Oh, really?
So
you do, Tim, you know more about this than you said at the beginning of the
I'll
episode.
see the title. I'll see the title of like whatever it is, and I won't click on it because I'm like, I'm not going to go down. I don't really care. I don't care.
But you're reading the headlines.
But the headlines are there.
So you have some curiosity.
Yeah, of course. I'm mostly interested in the funny, like the comical side of it all.
But that's what I'm talking about.
But I don't share it. Like I would never like repost it, or I mean, you go to my Facebook account. I haven't posted anything probably in a dozen years, but like I don't like to push stuff back out there. Okay, that's just me. But like the comical stuff, to me, I'm like, okay, that is like the lighter side of this, where it's like people are like, okay, let that serious stuff, let it be. I'm going to take this
Don't pile on.
Right. I'm going to take this other road though, and I'm going to create this meme that's funny. For example, I saw one yesterday where it was the autopilot from the movie Airplane. Remember? His name's Otto, I think it is. Right. And like, it was,
okay, so we are dating yourself when you're talking about the movie Airplane. That was Leslie Nielsen. Was that like 85 or 83?
But maybe I'm not, because like the comments, everybody said, thank you for doing this. This is the funniest way to get my mind off of all of that and into something completely different. And the comments were like, it was like a couple 100,000 comments, and it was all lines from the movie. And then somebody would comment. It was like one thing after the other. I was like crying, laughing, because I'm like, oh, these are great memories from like when I watched this movie.
So I don't understand. I don't understand. People are making fun of this.
Well, it was
this couple by
well, not really, because it was like the autopilot of the plane and the stewardess, Elaine. And the photo is like when the autopilot had like wrapped. The autopilot is a blow up like.
Oh, it's a blow up doll. Is a blow up doll,
and he like at one point had his arms around the stewardess in the movie.
Oh.
So that was the photo, and then people just went wild with the comments from the movie about it. So that part of it, the point is though, is that part of it is like the comedy part.
Yeah, I mean, but that's exactly what I'm talking about. You could say, okay, this couple asked for it for the whole world to still be joking about it. I don't think it's that funny.
Yeah.
So you indulged it a little bit.
I did.
You did.
I did, but not.
I
think I just let myself go into the comedy part of it. I let go of that other stuff.
But it's for sport. It's exactly what I'm talking about, Tim. You're laughing for sport. It's somebody else's expense. You are. You participated in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You did. So you did.
Yeah, you did.
You did. So emotion, and then number 5, the reason why we do this is emotion regulation by proxy. When we have our own anxiety in our lives, we're bored, or we're angry, we're carrying anger inside of us, we get to vent through watching somebody else's chaos. So maybe it's boredom. There you go. So you're watching that and you guys are all laughing and making comments about a scene from Airplane. So maybe it's somebody else's chaos is funny to other people. So
yeah,
I don't think it's funny. I
don't think it's funny either. I think there's ways though that you can like take your mind from it. And in this instance, it was like something was brought up that was like similar in terms of the photo. And that's all it was.
I know. I've seen Airplane. I know that's
King and like Ronald McDonald. Right. They've done that one. I mean, there's like been silly things. And it's like.
And you love the movie Airplane. So I can see. I'm glad you didn't share it. I think I've just been so.
I hear what you're saying. It's in the same arena, and should it be? Should people then take it that next step and like, okay, we're going to make this a comical thing now, and we're going to make this other photo, and we're going to.
And you could say, I mean, this is a Schadenfreude. I mean, there's parts of it, like I was saying earlier, like, yeah, I've participated in it. You could say they asked for it. You know, there's a lot of people who are nodding right now when I'm saying this, who don't agree with much of what I'm saying, and they're probably going, yeah, Anna, they asked for it. So all bets are off, and it's what's it called? Free. We all can take our shots now.
You can.
You know, you're putting them in the town square. You're putting them on a soapbox in the town square. You're putting them up on a pedestal, and everybody can take their apple and their tomato and throw them at them. Yeah. Everyone gets a shot. Everyone can go after them. And if you want to do it in the way of comedy, if you want to do it in the way of saying mean things about them, of putting a curse on them, whatever you want to do, everybody gets to take a free shot.
Yeah.
And the people who are most feeling this way, the ones who have lived through this, who have been those wives and been those husbands who have been cheated on and had to find out about it by watching social media, or their friend texts them, oh my gosh, did you see this? And you find out, holy crap, that's my husband.
Right.
And that's very painful for that person. And my heart goes out to that wife, that husband, because can you imagine? I can't even imagine that's how they found out that this was going on.
Yeah.
Especially if you had no idea. And oh my, geez. I mean, it's a shit show.
Yeah.
For these families. So, I understand the humor. I understand. I've seen this in my practice, and I love comedy and I love humor, but this gets to the point sometimes for me, it's not funny anymore.
Right. No, I hear what you're saying. I mean, let's not sugarcoat this entire conversation either. I mean, you and I have, in some aspect of this, we have lived this too. Let's be completely real with this, right? So we can relate to parts of this personally. And so I think you and I have a lens that looks at this slightly differently because of our past.
Right.
Right. And I think we are more sensitive to it because of our past.
Right.
And I definitely think we have probably some more insight to it because of our past. You and what you do for a living, like you're able to drill deeper into this. And I appreciate that, so
Right.
It's like, okay, yeah, the humor part of it, it's funny for a second. Let it go. You're right. Yeah. You're 100% correct. You're 100% correct.
When I first saw it, I thought, oh God, were they dumb? I thought come on now.
Yeah.
I mean, you're doing this. You don't go to Gillette Stadium, go to a Coldplay concert and look like they were like in box seats. Come on. And you're with a coworker, like really?
But especially
that's brazen.
But especially in the seat that you sit in for the company that you work for. It's one thing if you're a common person, and even if you work to get.
I think you don't go out in public. If you're from the Boston area, you don't go to Patriots Stadium, go to a concert and be all cuddly with your arms around each other and with a colleague and coworker standing right by you. They just lost their heads. They seriously just lost their heads.
But don't you think there's got to be more to that story? I mean, I don't think they would just be that dumb.
Attraction, I don't know if you call it love, whatever it is, it does weird things to people, makes people act in ways that are not always the smartest.
Yeah.
So, okay. So let's go into the cultural layer, which is a little bit of what you were talking about before. Okay. I mean, there's a spectacle. So the cultural piece today is we have the spectacle economy. So clicks, shares, algorithms reward humiliation. So outrage today is monetized. The more outrageous, you can monetize that. Social media and really in some ways culture today, we reward people's humiliations. There's this parasocial theater where we feel entitled to somebody else's story, to strangers, or really strangers to us. We feel entitled to their stories because we've been conditioned to consume people like content. But we have to remember these are people. These are human beings. These are not robots. These are people.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say that again because I think I've succumbed to this as well. So we feel entitled to strangers' stories because we've all been conditioned we consume people. It's just content. Content, but they are people.
Yeah. And you and I touched on this, was it last week or the week before? We look at social media, whatever the platform might be, and we think that we have developed this personal relationship with somebody, and really we haven't. All it is really is an image on your device.
Yes.
Right? Like that's really what that is. In this case, it's an image on a device, and it's a person that has made a bad decision, right? It's an actual human that's made a bad decision. And it's like, I think we don't connect those dots. That part of it is not part of what we use to when we try and reason through this.
Right.
When we just let that part go and we're like, look at that. Like we laugh at that. It's not just an image on the screen in this case. That you're right. It's an actual, these are two human people that are like, have made a choice, made a bad choice, let's say maybe, and now have made another choice. Maybe that's a bad choice. We don't know. We don't know all the details, right? But like, don't forget, at the end of the day, two humans, right?
Yeah. And another part of this cultural layer is what I just mentioned before, that example of Cersei in Game of Thrones being paraded through the town naked, where everybody's chanting shame. Public shaming has come back. And public shaming has come back for us in 2025 in the way of social media. It's just exact same impulse. It's just we've got fancier technology today, right? That we did 1,000 years ago, but it's here. And it's here to stay. It's part of who we are as people. And my challenge to all of you is to try to not run down the stairs and run down to the town square and see what's going on. Maybe you're observing, but then walk away. Don't pile on and don't join in the chanting of shame, shame, shame. Look, what's happening? Then turn and walk away.
Yeah. Isn't that the baseline of much of social media, right? We enjoy watching the person who's like delivering mail and slips on ice and falls down, right? We enjoy watching that. We enjoy the guy that's biking and like loses control and like
I didn't think about it like that.
We enjoy that. Drives much, not all.
Because it's funny, it makes us laugh. I do watch those. It's just funny, but I never thought of that as Schadenfreude. That's interesting. I never thought somebody slipping on the ice and falling as like, oh, they're hurt. I'm laughing at that. I don't think of that so much because when I have seen those images come up on Instagram or TikTok for me, I think, oh my gosh, are they okay? I feel empathy for them. It's like my mirror neurons have kicked in.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, I've seen like, I saw something with a bike or something and it was funny for an instant, but then I'm like, oh, that's going to hurt. That is going to hurt.
The skateboarders,
I hope they're okay.
Right?
Somebody put this video up, but I don't know how that person is. I bet they're at the chiropractor because their back is really jacked up now.
Yeah.
So that's not really Schadenfreude because I'm not delighting in the fact that they are now hurt. Schadenfreude is you're delighting in someone's pain.
Well, but maybe the person that created that video is delighting in it.
Yeah,
like
maybe.
I don't, we don't know. Like, but it's all. I mean, you could go.
You hope that they ask permission from that person who fell off the bike. Like, yeah, it's funny. I'm fine. Go ahead.
0% chance that's happening.
Yeah,
because you see like montages of like one thing after the next sometimes, and it's like, well, I just watched 30 different people have the same shared wild, dumb experience where they got hurt doing this or that.
Right.
Like the person that puts that together, that's the person, like that's the head you need to like drill down into and be like, okay, dude, like what's that all about?
Right. Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So here's your ethical check-in as we're coming to the end of this episode. So if you knew one of these characters, take that scene from Gillette Stadium and think of something, maybe you knew the people. Maybe they were your sister. Maybe they were your brother. Maybe they were your dad or your mom. Would you forward this to your family members or to your friends? Let's say your friends. Would you forward this to your friends if you knew them, really knew them and loved and cared about that person, even though you're like, what are they doing? Would you forward it to everybody that's in your text chain, in your groups? What if it was your kid? What if it was your 28-year-old son, 30-year-old son, daughter who's married and they're with somebody else? Would you forward that to everybody in your family and all your friends and neighbors and colleagues and coworkers?
Good question.
So that's, ethical check-in for you. All right. And compassion does not mean you're condoning. And this is how I feel. You can disapprove of someone's behavior without dehumanizing them as people. I have compassion. Like I said, I felt bad for them. Oh, geez, what's their life the next day or even today? I don't condone what they did.
Yeah.
But I can have compassion for them.
Yeah.
So that's important.
Because that story follows them.
It'll die out, but not in their communities.
I don't know if it will.
Yeah. Well, not for them in their lives.
Yeah.
It's going to hang around a long time.
Probably forever. They will always have you were that person back in 2025. There's going to be somebody that's going to remember that, which stinks. Okay.
So here's your challenge. Okay. If you're interested and you want this challenge, I want you to move from being a voyeur to a validator. So I want you to use this energy of being the voyeur to inspect yourself, interrogate yourself, interrogate your envy, interrogate your insecurity or your resentment, and then do something with it. Okay. So that's the action step. I'm coaching you up on this. All right. Do something with it. Look at yourself, inspect it, interrogate yourself. Are you envious? Do you have insecurities in your life? Do you have resentment, anger towards somebody else?
Yeah.
And somebody in your life, maybe in your past, you can think of an example and they have fallen. They've been taken down a peg. And I want you to do something about that. What is coming up inside of you? What are you going to do? Are you going to go talk to somebody about it? Are you going to decide to do different the next time you see something like this happen in your life or you experience or you watch it? Maybe you're not going to talk about it. Maybe you're going to be quiet about it. Maybe you're not going to forward a meme to somebody else. What are you going to do? Little small steps. That's you working on yourself. And then when you don't share a meme, when you don't participate in the group text about something, that's you improving your character. That's aligned action. You're taking aligned action with your character. That's bettering you, bettering yourself.
I'm thinking, go back to that moment in a business situation that we talked about earlier in this episode, where it's like somebody falls, like somebody that for some reason you have something bad feelings about somebody because you feel they're undeserving or whatever it is. So there's going to be a next time, right? A next time where they make a silly decision or something doesn't work out. So maybe the move next time, the human move inside of you might be like, like laugh or feel good about it for a second. But maybe the next time the move is to go to that person and say something in a positive building up fashion. Like, I'm so sorry that happened. I want to help you in a situation like that later where you have to make a business decision like that. I'm here for you. I would be as a consultant, as a coworker, as, you know what I mean? Let them know that like, oh, I'm so sorry that happened. Hey, next time, if you need some help with that, I'm here. You know, maybe maybe that's your move.
That would be such a great move on your part if you could do that. Yeah. So going back to, as we close, going back to the example I gave about feeling jealous of these very well-known air quote life coach. And so here I am, because I don't know if they're really I don't think they do life coaching. They're more of a motivational public speaker. They don't do individual or group coaching, not on the smaller scale. I have had to really work that through on myself. And so I went from a place of being envious or being jealous to curiosity. And that was me really surrounding myself with a trusted team of people that I could talk to about this, who would not coddle me, who would not enable me. Yeah. I don't know who she thinks she is. They're like, no, Anna, she's doing her thing. Why do you care about what's happening there? Why do you care about that she's doing this and she's doing that? You do you. Remember all of your gifts. Remember what you're presenting to the world. But they gently pull me out and say, no, look at that within yourself. And so find that, if you can find those people in your life, utilize them, share with them, get yourself vulnerable, share with them what it is you're dealing with. And I've really come a long way with that. So that's a story of moving from judgment into curiosity about what it brought up inside of me. Because it really was an Anna problem. It was a me problem, not an anybody else problem, not that celebrity life coach's problem. That person's doing themselves. And now I'm like, you go, girl. I got to work on me.
Yeah.
And I've been dealing with it. And I've dealt with it. It's good.
That's really good. Yeah, for sure.
Okay. All right, everybody. So think about Schadenfreude. All right. When you're feeling this in your life, if you find yourself smirking, laughing, enjoying it, if you can, develop that awareness to stop yourself in the moment and ask, what's coming up inside of me? What am I feeling right now? And are you willing to work on it and change it? And that's how you build character. That's how you advance your personal development. Okay.
All
right. Please don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review with 5 stars the podcast if you're still listening at this point. And come talk to me if you are interested in coaching. You know where to find me. hello@annamarcolin.com. All right. Mad love, everyone. Until next time.